So in this lesson, we are going to learn how to divide fractions and mixed numbers. The three words that I need you to remember when dividing fractions is copy, dot, flip-flop. And this is all going to make sense once we do a couple examples. So my first example is just dividing two fractions. So for example, 2/3 divided by 1/4. So what the first word is copy, I'm going to literally copy the first fraction, so just 2/3. Now for dot, instead of a division sign, I'm going to change it to a dot or a multiplication sign. And then for the word flip-flop, I'm just going to flip-flop or change around the numerator and the denominator. So instead of 1/4 or 1/4, I'm going to say it's going to be 4/1. Notice I just changed around the 1 and the 4. Flip-flop the position. Now it's a multiplication problem. We already know how to do this, and we know when we multiply fractions, we just multiply across. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now I have to simplify. I know my numerator is bigger than my denominator, so that means I need to long divide. So I need to say, how many times does 3 go into 8? 3 goes into 8 2 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract. So now my answer is going to be 2 and 2/3. So for my next example, I'm going to be I'm going to be dividing a fraction by a mixed number. So for example, 3 1/3 divided by 2/9. So notice here, I have a mixed number. So if I would copy 3 1/3, this will still be a little difficult. So before I copy it, I need to change it into an improper fraction. So I'm going to say 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So I'm going to change 3 1/3 into 10/3, just making it an improper fraction. And I'm just going to rewrite my problem. So now I can copy, dot, flip-flop in order to divide these fractions. So I'm just going to recopy 10/3. I'm going to change my division sign into a multiplication sign, and I'm going to flip-flop my last fraction. So instead of 2/9, I'm going to have 9/2. Now I'm going to cross multiply. 10 times 9 is 90. 3 times 2 is 6. Again, 90 is bigger than 6. My numerator is greater than my denominator, so I have to long divide. So I have to say, how many times does 6 go into 90? Well, 6 goes into 9 one time. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to bring down. 6 goes into 35 times. Then I don't have any remainders. So my answer is 15, because I'm just getting my answer from right up here. So my last example, I'm actually going to have two mixed numbers. So for example 3, I'm going to have 6 2/3 divided by 3 1/9. Again, because I have mixed numbers, I need to change them into improper fractions first. So I'm going to say 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20, so I'm going to change this into 20/3. Divided by 9 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1, 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 1 is 28 ninths. So now I can copy, dot, flip-flop. So I'm going to copy 20/3. I'm going to change my division sign into a multiplication sign, and I'm going to flip-flop my second fraction, 9/28. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here. We can automatically multiply across, or we can try to simplify this a little bit easier. So you're welcome to do it this method. You do not have to. So I can say, I can find common factors between my crosses. So for example, I'm looking at the 9 and the 3. I'm going to say 3 is a common factor between 3 and 9. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Then I'm going to look at my other crosses. I'm going to say, what's the common factor between 20 and 28? Well, I know 4 can go into both of them. 4 goes into 25 times. 4 goes into 28 7 times. Now I just made my multiplication a little bit easier because now I'm going to say 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 7, again I'm just multiplying across, is 7. Now, because my numerator is greater than my denominator, I need to long divide. So I can say how many times does 7 go into 15? 7 goes into 15 one time. I'm sorry, it doesn't go into one time. It goes into 2 times. 7 times 2 is 14. And I get the remainder of 1. So now my answer is 2 and 1/7. So again, what I did right here, you do not have to do, is just a nice little shortcut for you so that your simplifying is a little bit easier. So that is how you divide mixed numbers and fractions. Again, remember, copy, dot, flip-flop.